That's a beautiful mandolin playing. I love that.
Thanks, man.
You're the mandolin.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I wish I could do a...
Nice.
I think that was close enough, dude.
Yeah, I think I got it.
It's good. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, totally. Anyways, yeah, welcome to episode 2 of the Circle
Yes.
Podcast.
You are now in the circle. We got a pretty good show for you.
Yes, we do.
So, this week we're going to focus a lot more on music for the first part. You know, we delved a little bit into it, but we're looking to spend more time on it because we did not think we had enough time last time.
Oh,
we
of
ran
course
2
not.
hours anyway.
Yeah, we
so,
went pretty long last time.
That's okay, because it was like our little special little debut. It's bound to be a little bit
Yeah.
longer.
That'll
Well,
happen.
and before we move forward, though, we have to issue some retractions.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say that we misinformed you last week. I am now part of fake news without knowing it. I became part of fake news.
Unintentionally.
wrong.
Wrong. That is like the best thing, though.
Wrong.
It's
I
just
love
like,
that.
It's just
I think
no
we
matter,
need to.
no matter how much fact you present him with, it's just wrong, and then it's just
Well,
it doesn't matter.
what about alternative facts?
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, that's.
I
maybe
think
that's
we
what we're doing.
need to set the beat pad up here and sample the wrong and just hit a button.
Dude, that'd be
wrong.
great. Yeah. Dude, we have to do that. That'd be
We have to give it to him, of
I would,
course.
yeah, I would love to.
Christian gets the button.
Yeah.
Wrong.
But, yeah, misinformation.
Anyways, yeah.
The
Yes.
Steve from Blue's Clues, we told you that we thought that he became a drug addict and all this terrible stuff. It's not true. None of that. It's like some Hollywood rumor shit. How you hear like every actor dies every year when they haven't, except for last year. Every actor.
Yeah,
did
last
die.
year was
Every
pretty
year.
bad.
Everybody died last
But
year.
it's that same thing, you know. So we were wrong.
Yeah, he's not that cool.
We
He does
take
not
that
sell
back.
drugs.
What has happened to him, Ian Riggs?
I don't know. He just came out and
just
said like
left.
he just left. He was
Yeah.
done with
That
the
was
show.
it.
He was tired of talking to imaginary dogs and
Other
pretending to be
animals
an
and
acid for a
things.
living. I don't know.
See, no, he was
Getting the
on
mail
drugs
too
during
often.
the show. That was the problem. And then he got clean, and he's like, "Man,
What am I doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
What have I become?"
I either take drugs again or I leave.
Oh god.
Oh, take another hit, Steve. Yeah, there was more than salt in that shaker. You know what I mean? All right, Ian.
Also,
So,
hold
what are we
on.
drinking tonight?
Oh yeah.
What do we got
drinking
here?
Some great stuff. First of all, our unofficial sponsor, New Glarus. Thanks for pretend sponsoring us because we're totally interested in that.
And we love drinking Spotted
Yeah,
Cow.
we're pretty much
That's
only
basically
drinking
what it
Glarus,
comes down
so,
to.
This sounds like a plug, but it is just because it's awesome. Other than that, we also have this special. Oh, sorry.
No,
We
go
have a
ahead.
special Kinnick. The fuck's the
Kinnikinnick?
city name?
Kinnikinnick.
Kinnikinnick. There we go.
Kinnikinnick.
I said it right all night. They have the fucking
Kinnikinnick,
pronunciation
dude.
on the back of the bottle.
Yeah, man. There's a street in Milwaukee named after. Well, I mean, not that, but
I guess I don't spend that much time. Yeah.
Kinnikinnick.
Okay, so we have
you
our
lived
special whiskey
there,
of the night
dude.
is Kinnikinnick, which is, it just says Kinnikinnick whiskey, handcrafted, small batch. Looks pretty good. I don't know. Smells kind of nice. Let's see. Smells very American.
a
Smells
pretty
very
deep whiff.
very rye.
Ian is
very
quite the
rye-y.
expert.
Oh yeah, I just get to sound super pretentious.
yeah.
It's just a cork. I get to sound super pretentious all the time with my whiskey because
Because he always drinks Lagavulin and
well,
shit.
now I gotta swirl the aroma around and get the full effect.
Get it on your palate.
This actually does smell really good. It smells really smooth.
I like it.
Ooh, wow, it does smell pretty
Shut the
smooth.
fuck up.
I'm
dude.
sorry, man.
Christ.
I gotta do
Gonna have to
it.
keep a fucking counter, you know. One pun of the night.
That'll be the second
Yeah,
pad.
it's just pun after another.
Get the fuck out. Let's try it, huh?
Oh, you like it?
I like it. I think it's good. It's definitely what you expect out of American whiskey. You know, it's got that
Give
kind
me
of
some whiskey.
it's got that kind of sweeter flavor.
Over here without a glass.
Yeah, right. Well, you should
Hell,
have fucking
guys.
thought ahead, man. You got our second sponsor. Sorry, not official sponsor. I got to say that by law. We're in no way actually associated with New Glarus other than the fact that we buy their beer all the time. But yeah, you know, I think that this stuff is really good for what it is. Definitely would recommend it.
I'm gonna give it a whirl here.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, that is pretty smooth.
Yeah, I guess
would
it won
say.
like some World Whiskey Award last year too, so that's why I got it in the first place.
There is like no sort of burn.
Nope.
Wow.
Well, and American whiskeys tend to have that sweet
Ooh.
flavor that you can probably kind of taste. And,
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. American whiskeys are starting to grow on me. I used to be so into Irish whiskeys just because they had that real nice, smooth flavor without any of that sweetness, which these always tend to have.
Whiskey's
Yeah, it's
starting to
pretty
grow
good.
on you, huh?
You
You ought to get that checked out. You ought to get that checked out.
you son of a bitch.
No comment. I'll
Alright.
leave that one between you two.
Yep. So, yeah, anyways, Kinnikinnick whiskey. Check it out.
Yeah, good
Hey,
stuff.
I said it right that time.
So I hear you heard an interesting take on a classic song on the radio
my fucking
today.
God.
Or the other
Yeah.
day.
Yes, dude. On the way back here today, I heard, Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb, a classic, a beautiful song.
Great song.
Done by a country bluegrass group.
My kind of style.
Yeah, you're like, I like this version better. I don't know.
I won't go that far, but
By Luther Wright and the Wrongs. Now that's Wright, Wright, and the Wrongs, like he did something
Clever.
wrong. Yeah.
like he did something
And
wrong.
it was,
By picking all those bandmates. You're wrong, guys. Come with me.
it was really interesting though. I never really expected to hear that rendition, and the link's in the description of this podcast. I recommend you go check it out.
Have a listen.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
The banjo's pretty interesting and it's very active. It's nice.
Yeah. So go ahead and do that now, and then come back, and we'll talk about it with you. And done. All right, we're back.
Okay, let's not go that.
Put that one-
Let's leave like a 2-second space so we can like command E.
I'm gonna ruin
Fine.
the magic. I'm gonna ruin the magic. Literally nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah. So okay. Now we listen to the track.
Here we are listening to the track.
It's pretty exciting. It's really interesting.
Pat just half-asses it on the mandolin.
Well, yeah.
No.
But yeah, I think that was a really interesting track personally, and I found that it utilized a lot of stuff I would have never expected to work for a Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
That where they kind of jump into the double time in the chorus to create that like driving effect that is,
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical about the verse at the beginning because it's just so off-putting and doesn't really.
That's how
it's like they just took the track.
It is a completely different like vibe
Absolutely.
than the original Pink Floyd song. Like,
Yeah, well, I guess it had to be.
Yeah.
they really
Oh
went
yeah,
a
it's a
different
bluegrass
direction.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but it's not even like folky kind of like slowed down sort of thing.
Oh,
It's
no.
just like four
Yeah.
on the floor. Like
Yeah.
let's dance around.
And for what it is, I think
drink
it's, I
moonshine.
think it's really cool. I think
I
they
agree.
really got the effect that they were going for, and I personally think that it was a really interesting track.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do by covering a song but making it sound like totally different in the style of a different genre. Like just the other day, I heard Al Green, this old soul singer, do a cover of "Light My Fire" by The Doors, and it sounds nothing like the original.
Well, that does seem to be a common theme with a lot of these older artists that like are considered masters of their craft or this kind of thing. They just take a song and they turn it into
Into their own.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, his first two albums are just covers.
I was wondering if you were gonna bring up Johnny Cash here.
Oh, Johnny Cash. Well, that's the obvious one for sure.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
that's where I thought you were
Nine Inch
going.
Nails cover
Yeah.
for "Hurt." That's another track. You're gonna go look that up right now. You should.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
He
beautiful track.
took Trent Reznor's Empire of Dirt and made it gold, man.
Yeah, and another great example of like an artist doing that is fucking Tiny Tim doing a Doors song that was like
A Doors song.
yeah, fucking
He
what
did?
track was that? I can't remember the name of it now. People Are Strange. Is that the Doors?
Yes, that is.
Yeah. He did a cover of People Are Strange.
People are strange.
That's exactly how he does the first part. But then he drops into this like the deep voice, really impactful operatic like level. It's like it's really interesting. Just look up Tiny Tim, People Are Strange. It's the weirdest shit you'll listen to all day.
Earth Angel. he
Tiny
does,
Tim in
too.
general is just.
Yeah.
I actually
Earth
do.
Angels, that's a great track that he does too. I think he did it really well.
It's a great track that he rips apart.
Yeah. What he did? I love that version of that song.
No,
The
you
Tiny
don't.
Tim. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Are you kidding me?
Do you-
The second
are you-
half gets really weird, but like the
You actually do like it.
hell yeah.
No, yeah. Well, the second half. That's
That's
kind
where
of
it
what
gets.
I.
I usually cut it off after the first verse because he does the really cool normal voice thing. He almost does like an Elvis.
Oh no,
version
yeah.
of
That
it.
part. That part
It's
is
super
cool.
beautiful, and then he just goes full Tiny Tim on it
Isn't
and gets super crazy.
Wait, isn't it originally an Elvis song?
Earth Angel? No. That's like a song by the Penguins from like 1955.
Oh yeah. No, you're
The
right.
original is like a doo-wop group. That's
I was gonna say, who are the Penguins?
yeah, it's
dude?
some fucking old school doo-wop group.
Oh man, they're great. I got their entire discography on
yeah.
vinyl,
That one-
tape
Check 'em out,
cassette,
guys.
and VHS. One track.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, I think that's I love reading about that kind of shit and hearing it. People like taking music and turning it into something I never would have expected it to
Or
be.
I came across this video on YouTube the other day that was like, this group of people that were playing a bunch of like new age like pop radio kind of songs, and they were kind of busting it back into like the like 50s kind of doo-wop sort of thing and dancing to it on the video, and it was just really like, holy shit, different take on pop music.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah, that kind of stuff is just, it's really great.
Speaking of great music, I want to talk about my favorite band of all time. They are a little group, and actually kind of a little known group, called Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty weird name. But
Oingo Boingo.
yes.
Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
Boingo. Where does it end?
It doesn't.
Just ends at Boingo, I think, though.
It ends at the long goodbye. Let's see.
I think so.
Now, Oingo Boingo is a little, I gotta warn you guys, it's not for everybody. It's very quirky music.
It's like, let's walk back into the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, it literally is. Yeah, it is the 80s. It is the 80s. And the funny thing about 80s music for me is that the way I see it, it's like some of the best music ever came from the 80s. But most of the worst music ever came from the 80s. And Oingo Boingo is unlike just about anything that you've ever heard. They are kind of like, they're a mix, they jump around between ska and new wave, which is kind of weird that they're my favorite band, because I don't like just about anything ska, and I'm kind of lukewarm about new wave.
No. What would you say defines a new wave?
You know,
I was just gonna ask that.
That's pretty interesting because me and my dad were having a conversation about this, and he was talking about the diversity within new wave, and that stuff ranges from the to like the Cars even. The you've never heard of the?
I feel like you're having a stroke or you're fucking with me.
No,
right
it's
now.
the. Yeah.
Never fucking
You've
heard that in my
never
life.
heard it. You recognize some of their songs. I think. Do they do that? I'll stop the world and meld with you.
Really?
Well, why am I asking? You guys want to know?
That's them?
I think that's
the
them.
thes?
No, the. It's just the.
That's fucking annoying.
That's the joke.
No,
you know?
dude, that's by modern English.
That's by modern.
there's all
Okay.
kinds of
Yeah.
bands like that.
So I'm
There's
full
a
of
band
shit.
Called The Band too.
You are full of shit, dude. What's the?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I think that's interesting, and that's that's Danny Elfman, right?
Yes, Danny Elfman. Oh, to answer your question, I think new wave would be defined by kind of like a bit of a more electronic sound in terms of like emphasis on synthesizers, and on top of that, it just kind of tried to distinguish itself from like the classic rock at the time.
Like, what's a big new wave example?
New Order.
Okay.
The follow-up of Joy Division's band after the lead singer killed himself.
Shit.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. Man.
So Danny Elfman is the front man of the group, and a lot of you have probably heard the name, and that's basically because he composes the score to every movie in existence. Not really. Yeah, not really
Not one of
every
those
movie,
guys,
but
though. He's the Max Martin of like movie.
yeah.
Scores.
He does he did the soundtrack for like a lot of the Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
And,
nice. Which
that's
ones did
pretty
like the original
sweet.
ones with like Toby Maguire, or, like the
No.
remakes?
Well, I
Or
don't.
the really far back ones before Toby Maguire, because someone's gonna fucking have my head for calling the Toby Maguire versions the original.
Yeah, I could see that.
I honestly couldn't tell you because I'm not a big Marvel or DC fan. I don't even know which one it is.
No,
Oh my god. come
It's
on,
probably
Christian.
Marvel because Marvel does all the movie
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, Danny Elfman actually, in interviews, he looks back at the band and he's like, "Yeah, this is a really embarrassing time in my life." And I'm like, dude, this is the best thing you ever created," and nobody really even knows him for it necessarily.
It is really interesting that he would look back and dislike the stuff that he'd done. Do you know if there's a lot of like drugs involved back then?
Well, what about
Watch
like
the
Pat
music
the Bunny?
videos. Watch.
Yeah, well, that's different. Pat the Bunny just sold out and went to
Well,
rehab.
that's
It's not
different.
happening.
He sold out and went to rehab. He's got no integrity.
It was pretty much good because
But like,
he was a
no,
burnout junkie.
he completely
rock.
stopped playing all his old music that
Yeah,
he
he
played
went
when he was on.
crazy.
Like, he won't. So
That's
it's
why
just like, come on, man.
It reflects his bad past.
Or who knows what,
Exactly.
but yeah.
Yeah, stupid though.
So go
yeah, I
on.
guess I can see the idea of why an artist could look back on something and be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is fucking embarrassing.
Definitely.
I know I'm gonna look back on this podcast and be like, God, why the fuck did I work with those yahoos?
I mean, I should have picked someone who
out.
wouldn't.
See you guys.
I should have picked someone who wouldn't out cheddar me. Out cheddar me. God damn
Out
it.
cheddar you?
Out shadow.
Holy shit.
Got some
My
Porky
brain
Pig shit
just
going
got
on
sped
there.
forward.
Yeah, well, if you watch the music videos, you will definitely get an idea of why he's a little embarrassed, because it is.
Yeah.
The music videos, and I personally I do not like watching music videos.
What's a track that you would recommend somebody go look up right now if they wanted to get a taste of what you're talking about?
Well, I got 2 tracks in mind just to give you like a little bit of contrast in the variation of their styles. The first one is one of my favorite songs. It's beautifully well written. Good for Your Soul.
Good for Your Soul by
Yeah.
Oingo
By
Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
Yes, by Oingo Boingo.
Oingo
and
Boingo.
We're going
Link in
to
the
throw that.
description.
Yeah, we're going to throw that in the description. It's this really beautiful song reflecting on like kind of personal struggles in people's lives, like inspiration with creativity, or just being infatuated with somebody who you don't even really know that much about. The little things that we all kind of face. And
Yeah.
it's this really nice, heartfelt, kind of like gripping song, which contrasts very, very much with basically the rest of their stuff. And the other example of the song that I want to bring up is Nothing to Fear, which is... This reflects on their writing style, because Danny Elfman's themes are often very, very critical of society, very, very biting criticism and sarcasm just embedded in it. And he's basically making fun of that old quote by President Roosevelt about how we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there's nothing to fear. This is bullshit. And then he lists off like
All the
everything
things,
you
yeah.
need to fear. And then he goes, there's nothing to fear.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like spiders. Everybody should fear spiders. They're
Spiders
Just, they're
suck,
bad things.
man.
There's a
the
funny...
corn spiders in Nebraska.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
It's just not cool.
There's...
Oh yeah, we told him about
yeah.
that.
Oh, man,
Oh,
those fuckers
God.
are big.
But yeah, I think that it's really important that musicians do something like that to actually connect to people, especially if it's such a kind of fringe group, and like that's not to say it's insulting, but like you said, it's a pretty
What are you
unknown
trying to say?
group. I'm trying to say it sucks.
What you trying to say?
That's what I'm trying to
And
say.
you do too.
Yeah. But yeah, I think when you're not like in the mainstream like that, or even like how he was so heavily in the mainstream with the music production for movies,
Yeah.
that I think a lot of musicians tend to like completely go the opposite direction when they have free reign after that. I've been doing what everybody wants me to do for so long. I'm
Now-
gonna fucking make some crazy shit.
Yep.
You see that with a lot of these people, and even another great composer for movies, Hans Zimmer, who doesn't really do crazy stuff. He just does beautiful piano music. He did the score for like Interstellar, I think like The Dark Knight, and a couple of the I don't know. He did a bunch of shit though, and he is really well known. You've probably heard his music 1,000 times and not known it. But I do think that happens with a lot of these musicians. They want to move on and find something unique because they've been trapped in this like cliche world of mainstream media for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why that happens. Yeah, go ahead. What
Well,
were you saying?
I was going to ask Pat if he had anything that he had in mind.
Oh well, I do actually.
Oh, really?
So
Did we
classic.
prepare for this?
No,
I don't think we did. Guys, I don't have anything. I gotta go.
son of a bitch. You're out of the band. Oh, this isn't a band.
We're done.
It's not
You're
a band.
fired.
Oh, so I'm good. I'm good then.
Yep.
So me being me, I'm all about Tycho.
No, we've all been there.
I love Tycho, which is basically
Cheers for your shit joke.
Hey, come on.
one of many.
Come on. That's why people come to the show.
Come to the show. I didn't know
So
we have
anyway,
a
tell us about a Tic Tac or whatever.
Tic Tac,
Tic-tac.
Ticker Talk or whatever.
Taco.
So
It's fucking
Now that's something I can get behind.
Tycho,
smooth
he's a
sounds of
guy out of San Francisco. I guess it's a band, but Scott Hansen is the main guy who plays the majority of instruments. And then the song that I brought up is off his album Dive. which was not the one that was on Adult Swim that you would know of.
Oh, that's
from
right,
the
yeah.
Madison days. Dive's a different one. That was Awake. But it's kind of more like all my music is instrumental, so I don't have like a vocal message.
Vocal analysis.
Yeah,
nothing
You
exactly.
mean your own personal music that you construct, or like what you listen to?
What do you mean?
Both.
Both?
I got the question. He's asking like your music that you make or music that you listen to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both. But Tycho itself is everything's instrumental.
Oh, that's kinda cool.
Synthesizers
That's kinda
and just lots of like guitar looping and effects and stuff.
I find that style of music actually is much easier to get behind, at least for me personally, because if a vocalist is, if you don't like their style or their voice or even their message, it just like, even if the instrumentation is good, it has a big chance of turning you off to it.
Yeah.
But this kind of
Whereas
neutralizes
this for me, it's really like obviously, you know, you can kind of get your own feeling out of it, but it's very like easy to provoke that. So,
would you confine it to a certain genre?
I mean, if you're going broad, it's electronic. You
Yeah,
know?
in all
I mean,
reality,
a lot of it's virtual instruments and stuff,
Yeah.
which is like, you know, you can put it in that same boat as like Emancipator.
yeah, exactly.
You know, not
but it's much
leaning
more
towards dubstep level, nothing like that.
yeah,
It's
not
much
at all.
more.
Okay, good.
guitar, bass, live drums, and that, I mean, synthetic drums, but not like EDM drums
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he said. It's not like that.
There isn't
Just
a lot of
layering stuff. And,
Well, I actually heard a super interesting track that there's somebody that followed us just on our SoundCloud account recently.
Oh, yes.
Was it was just this random guy. I'll give him a plug, you know, just because I'm being nice. His page is called backwordsflip, but words WORDS. Backwordsflip. And,
What other way is there to spell words?
Well, the word backwards.
BACKWARDS.
Yeah, the word backwards is spelled differently than back and words. Come on, get with the program. Half a glass of whiskey in.
I'm sorry. My brain.
That's a half a glass. It looks like a full glass.
My brain registered that you spelled it like WORDS.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's just like the name of his page, and he's got a track which is, dude, you got to rename this. If you hear this, you got to rename this track. It's called Panda Shit, and it's like that's the
It would
dumbest.
make more sense if it was called Mario shit.
It should be called that. So if you hear this, please change the title.
Call it Mario shit.
So that I don't have to do a plug where I have to say Panda Shit.
But
no, it's really-
but the
really
beat
interesting.
itself, is
Yeah, the beat itself is really
Definitely
interesting. He used like all these Mario sounds, you know, like the coin up and
Going
or
down
one
the
up kinda-
tube
and
and-
all that shit to construct
yeah,
a beat.
getting a life and shit.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really interesting approach
All that
to
panda shit.
Yeah, all that panda.
Panda
so
shit, you
silly.
know.
And I saw it and I assumed it was going to be like a rip-off beat for that, what is it? Like a Broads in Atlanta. Like I thought it was going to be like a rip-off of that song. Because that song's called Panda.
I don't know it.
Who's the...
Designer.
Is that... Yeah, Designer. There's a track by Designer. It's like called Panda and it's this really obnoxious rap beat. And since
I don't know it.
he's mostly a rapper other than that, the other stuff on his page is all rap, which I haven't gotten the chance to listen to.
The beat
but
itself to
the beat
Panda
is really-
isn't terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
There's that
just
video of
kinda-
that one guy who does the redo of the lyrics over the Panda beat. He was really big on Facebook for a few weeks. You guys didn't catch that?
I don't think so.
The white
Yeah,
kid
no,
sitting
I
in the
did
corner
see
of the
that.
studio.
I did see that.
He had a pretty good flow, but
Yeah.
And then the second, another person who followed us recently on SoundCloud who is really interesting as well is this girl, Toby Fisherman. Her page is Coffee Fiend Page at SoundCloud. And this one is just singer-songwriter.
Page, the name Page.
Yeah, the name Page.
I thought you kept
No,
saying...
no, Page, P-A-G-E.
P-A-G-E.
Coffee Fiend Page, all one
Okay,
word, on
okay,
SoundCloud.
so not like the name.
And her name is Toby Fisherman.
Before we started recording, I thought you kept saying coffee-themed page.
Nope.
Nope.
It's not.
Because I was a little confused. Like, what?
He's hard of
kind
hearing.
of name?
Yeah, I guess so.
I actually,
in
no,
the
I
ears.
actually, dyslexic in the ears. Guys, I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry. No, I actually am a little hard of hearing.
But anyways, yeah, no, she's
Playing music will do that
She's a
to you.
singer-songwriter that is really interesting. It's all I don't know what fucking language it is. If you can tell me what language it is, that'd be really interesting.
I'd love to know.
We
But
jumped around. We thought it was Spanish, but it's
then
not
I thought
Spanish.
French for a moment. Then we were talking
It's
German,
not
maybe.
French.
I
And
wonder
then
if it's
like,
farther
no.
north,
I
dude.
think it's. I'm gonna say Swedish.
That's what that's what I meant by farther north.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like
If you
that
can
whole-
figure out what it is,
Go ahead
also
and press us all
if
with
you
your
look at-
geography.
What?
Also, if you look at our,
Isn't it?
our liked page on
You can't prove
SoundCloud.
that. The directions on a map are arbitrarily put down by the human race to... Okay, we're way off.
Yeah, I was trying to rein you guys back in for like 2 fucking minutes here, and you just keep going.
You know
I'm
how
trying
it is with
I'm
us.
trying to plug people here. I'm trying to tell people about music, and you guys keep talking
And
about
we know you'd
the
really...
arbitrariness of Hey, just because this girl happens to have a beautiful voice and is really hot doesn't change the fact.
We know that you'd really like to plug her. Yeah, we know.
That's just crass, Christian. That is just fucking crass.
Okay, moving on.
I'm sorry.
No, but she has a really good
do
voice,
detect
and it's actually really interesting, and I definitely recommend it. It's Toby Fisherman, Coffee
It's kind of like
page.
folky.
Yeah, it definitely like folky
acoustic
singer-songwriter
music.
kind of music.
Yeah.
And you
Kinda
can
like a
just
tinge of
that one's
ambient.
also in our
Link.
It's liked on our page too. So if you just go look at our liked stuff, it'll be in there with the other track. So those 2 guys, definitely go check them out. They gave us some love on SoundCloud, so
We'll give them some love back.
definitely.
Okay.
Fuck,
And
dude.
moving on again.
Fucking hell, yeah, that's just fantastic.
There it is. Fucking hell.
Fucking, oh man, I wonder how many times I've done it without noticing already.
I think that's only the first
No, that is
tonight.
the first
Really?
one. Wow. Yeah, 26 minutes in.
Boom, I'm getting
Bam.
better.
Guys, wait till the alcohol kicks in.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell. Just what it's going to turn into.
Fucking hell,
Fucking
Mike.
L's climb as the alcohol climbs.
That's just true.
It's the fucking alcohol.
See, he said fucking L for this first drink. On his second drink,
It's
he'll
going
probably
to
say it twice for the second drink. Third drink, he'll say it 3 times.
yeah, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
So
Yeah,
I
it is.
listened to, I decided to give Animal Collective a listen for the first time the other day.
Yeah, I don't know much about them.
Yeah, a lot of our friends actually, I believe, really like them. I think Connor likes them.
Yeah.
Ace is into them. Nobody knows who these people are. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. And my expectations were set really high for these guys because well, on top of all the good things that I'd heard, I was also told that they're very reminiscent of the Beatles, which is one of my favorite bands. I mean, who doesn't fucking love the Beatles?
God, the Beatles.
Aside from Frank Zappa.
Shut the fuck up, Pat.
And I can definitely see where they're coming from, and if you want to compare them to the Beatles, it's very much Revolver style, drugged out type of thing. They take what the Beatles did with that, and like it's almost a satire on it.
All right.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting.
It's not purposely like that. They're just
It just kind of becomes a
yeah,
parody
they're
of
just
itself.
fucking out there. And honestly, I gotta say, and I don't want to be too harsh, but I did not like this album too much.
Yeah?
No. Well, the first track on the album, and I can forgive it because it's like the intro thing, and sometimes people do little quirky things with it. It's just noise. It's just noise.
But like just ambient sounds?
No,
What do you
not
mean?
no.
Like,
It's like electronic interference.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Is it like is it like a synthesizer?
I would imagine.
Because that's just, I don't know, that's weird. I'm picturing like the really old school synths where you're just connecting sound, like fucking ports to other ports, and it just makes random sounds of like different types of sine waves. Yeah, yeah. Because if it's that, we had a guy come into school at MMI when we were going for a recording program where they did just that, where it was basically they had just a board.
Was that Biff's?
No, that was in somebody else's. I don't remember who. Oh, that was in Vrenna. Yeah, just had a teacher that was the drummer from Nine Inch Nails. No big deal, whatever.
That guy was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
and just brought in
man,
this
that's
board.
right.
We're basically just manipulating a sine
And
wave.
he brought in
to
the
create...
fucking hang drum and
Yeah, hang drum. Those are
was
really interesting
sweet.
too. I would definitely, if you don't know what that is, just go look. It's like hang
like
drum is
Google.
technically what it is.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just this little metal drum. It's a super beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Okay. There are 2 songs on the album that are actually just noise too.
Just noise.
There's a second one, yeah, and
So it's like really experimental stuff, like just
very
yeah,
experimental.
God, I have a hard time getting
Very.
behind that kind of music.
Yeah. I had a problem with it too because it's kind of like music that it's one of those situations. This is something I really hate in critiquing music, where it's just kind of nonsense, but people are like, ooh, this is genius, it's a miracle, just because they're trying to play it off like, yeah, I know what this is all about.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, because like it seems in a lot of ways that people want this like elitist mentality for a lot of their music, and
you
when
just
it comes
don't
down to
understand it.
And it's tough because music is so subjective that they can kind of pull that without anybody being able to go like, well, you're wrong. Because if it does evoke some kind of emotion, you don't have to be constrained to 4/4 time or any real formal musical structure to create something. You look at places in
everywhere,
like the Middle East in particular has a really, really unique approach to like metering music. And it's super interesting.
I like that kind of thing.
Me too. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of instruments that have been used in the West too that come from those origins. You look at things like the sitar. The Beatles use that.
Oh yeah,
and I think later in their careers or earlier. I can't remember. I don't know much about like their chronological order of albums and shit.
When they were getting a little more trippy, they go with
definitely.
And speaking of opinions, because I don't want to give the wrong impression here. Like, first of all, I listen to a ton of fucking weird shit that people would hear and they'd be like, okay. And also, just because throughout this process, I'm going to be doing like kind of semi-review style stuff, and just because I don't personally like something, like I gave this album like a 3 out of 10. Right? Just because I personally don't like it doesn't mean that you shouldn't give it a chance and that you shouldn't see if you like it yourself. Because, and I want to bring this back to a more positive note, because there were 3 songs on the album that I did like. And there are definitely moments of genius within this album where you can tell they definitely know what they're doing. They are definitely on point, and they are connected as a group, and they vibe with each other very well.
So, like, who do they remind you of?
Who do they
like what? Because I've never. I mean, maybe I've maybe heard them unknowingly.
Does anybody need a beer?
I will take a beer. I would love a New Glarus Brewing Company Spotted Cow Ale. 12 fluid ounces.
That's interesting. How are you enjoying that New Glarus Spotted Cow Ale?
Delicious.
New Glarus, sponsor us, please. That'd be perfect. All right.
You guys sold out, man.
All right, Ian will be right back. Christian, moving on. What do they remind you of?
Who do they remind me of?
I'm gonna look on Spotify and check their related artists.
Honestly, they don't remind me of anybody except for like that really weird trippy Beatles style taken way off the deep end.
All right, Neutral Milk Hotel. I see in their related artists.
If you like Animal Collective, you would probably like.
Wow, that was fast.
You would like Neutral Milk Hotel.
We had to get a tap in here is what I was just thinking.
Dude, my brother's going to be moving, and he has a beer tapper that has no home.
Okay, well, we're going to get a beer tapper, and then we're going to have beer on tap here. We're going to have New Glarus Spotted Cow on tap.
New Glarus Spotted Cow on tap.
So the 3 songs from the album that I did enjoy, just so you guys can check that out, because my opinions are great. Chocolate Girl. April and the Phantom. And I think it's called Bat Will Fly Again.
Bat Will Fly. Oh, is that song about Batman?
No.
And his fall after the Joker?
It's not really about anything.
It's not really about
their songs.
I like to hear about songs.
The songs that I have heard from them so far are not really about much anything.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just an interesting thing. Music all around is just fun as hell, isn't it? Isn't it a great thing?
Hell.
All music is good, except for bad music.
Math is a wonderful thing.
Some School of Rock jams, dude. Now, how lovely.
That was,
Was
music
that?
is wonderful.
Music is wonderful.
This is it's like
That was
Bob
the,
Ross.
That was
you
a
know?
segment called Music is
Trees.
Wonderful.
And we're gonna put the shark right over here. And we're not gonna tell
Now that
anybody.
flat was a happy accident.
It was a happy accident.
So awesome.
Is that how Bob Ross handles like farting on the set?
Happy accident.
Oh,
That was happy flatulence.
That was happy flatulence. Oh god. But yeah. I guess that's a great place. That's a great place to move on. Music is just perfect, and our music is incredible. And this is the only place you can hear it.
Let's not take it too
Wow.
Holy shit.
She's starting to sound like
Now
Trump,
I wish
man.
we hadn't
Dude.
played anything.
I'm the best
Just
at
a dick.
music. We make the greatest
Yeah.
music. We are winning with notes. No
Look,
one
man,
composes
Make
like I do.
music
Okay,
great
we all-
again.
We will
Fucking great.
we will master bass and treble so hard it will make your head spin. Your headphones spin.
But something I did see recently that I really wanted to talk about, which was everybody probably saw it really, Super Bowl and stuff. I don't give a shit about the game really.
I
Okay,
didn't see
everybody
it.
knows the game. It was crazy. They, the Patriots
you know
were
what's
losing by
really
like
funny?
21
We were
points.
sportsing pretty hard out there.
What?
I came home from work and caught like the last 3 quarters of the game, but ended up completely missing the
The
comeback.
giant comeback, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl
I
history.
left the room at like, what was it, like 3-28, or I don't remember what the fucking score was, but it was like, okay, so they lost.
Yeah.
Then it came back
No.
down, and it was like, no, they came back.
I
and
turned it
won.
off.
I'm like,
I
what
turned it
the
off at
fuck?
halftime, and then it came back because everyone was like, "Holy shit, are they gonna do it?"
Yeah.
But no, there was a bunch of stuff, and more than that, what I thought was really interesting was the halftime show and all the
Yeah,
stuff that
well,
was going
yeah.
on with it. I think it was probably the most intense, as far as technical like ability from the production team. It was fucking
Just how it
incredibly
was all
synchronized.
put together,
It was unbelievable.
and-
So the first thing that I noticed was so they had this big, and if you haven't seen the video, go look it up now, or you're just not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
at the very top, she was standing on top of the fucking like, stadium, and behind her was like all these lights that made up an American flag, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was.
Oh.
But then they went to a commercial.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, but then-
Those were drones?
yeah, those were drones.
Oh,
They had
whoa.
all these autonomous drones that would like fly up into different shapes and shit.
What?
And with lights on them.
That is too much.
That's fucking
Technology,
awesome. That's so
man.
cool. And then she jumps down and does this big thing. And
Did you see the
know,
video
she's
where
got a
like
political
it was
with
her microphone with it was still on?
Yeah.
And to think we could have been using those drones to bomb perfectly good innocent people.
Yeah,
God damn it,
seriously.
man.
You just got to use them to create entertainment. Like, what the fuck is the deal with
Had
that?
to use it for Lady
And-
Gaga.
But I don't know. Yeah. But I found that really interesting. Another aspect that I have never seen before. I mean, maybe they do this and I would just don't pay that much attention. But the crowd that actually got to be on, like, in the field,
Yep.
clearly were all part of the show, actually.
What?
Well,
They had to be.
what are you referring to?
I'm referring to all the perfectly synchronized movements with all the lights and them moving to certain areas to
I'm
create star
imagining-
effects and stuff.
I'm imagining that was like a part of the fucking like field ticket, I guess, per se.
Like you had to learn
like,
to do
hey,
that.
if you're gonna buy this ticket, you have to we give you
Yeah.
this thing that.
Well, and there had to be
You know
a
what I mean?
rehearsal.
There
But the
had-
thing is, there had to
yeah.
be a huge rehearsal
There
where
had
they
to
did it
be
a bunch of
some
times.
sort of something like
Because
that.
it's crazy how you haven't seen how intricate it is, dude. There's so much stuff where like if one person was going pushing their thing the wrong way, like at every concert you've ever been to, then the entire thing would have looked stupid. But I didn't see anybody mess up, and they were constantly moving into these different star shapes and all this crazy shit on the fly.
I like to
Unbelievable.
imagine. I like to imagine there was just dudes on the outer edges with like bull whips, kind of hurting them like sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what was
That's
happening.
exactly what was
I saw
going
that.
on.
I saw it there.
Probably.
Okay, now are you sure it wasn't just like a bajillion people were given these devices and they lit them up like that?
No, because you could clearly see when they zoomed in, the people's arms had to be moving in synchronized,
Okay.
and they had to be walking in the right position.
Yeah.
And so it was something that you
That's
clearly
interesting.
would not have been able to pull off without a bunch of rehearsal.
Yeah.
Especially that large of a group is so unpredictable.
It was Lady Gaga on the media's
How
mind
the fuck
control
did she
techniques.
get the halftime show?
Well, there was a bunch of stuff. For one, I mean, why wouldn't she? She's like a huge pop star now.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Now,
was
wasn't she
before.
like it? Yeah.
what do you mean? Of course she was. Yeah, I mean,
No,
she's
that's
pretty
what I'm
recent though. She's pretty recent though when it comes down to it. Like,
Relatively.
yeah.
When I was in
she
high
spent
school,
all her time.
in my freshman year, she started blowing up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's not that long ago. I mean, like.
That's like
In the pop star world, though, I mean,
8 years.
she spent like 15 years in the industry before that, though. Is what I'm saying. Like she
Okay,
was,
that's
like,
fair.
And so I'm talking about like recent history, and she was only up and coming, and now she's a huge star. Now she's a fucking huge star. She's one of the biggest out
Are you
there.
sure she wasn't born that way?
I think she might have been. God damn it,
Now
dude.
that's-
Damn it, Christian.
I'm sorry.
And
This is what I bring.
and Christian says something,
Yeah.
and then it's just
And
That's my mama.
But I think it's really interesting the way that they approach these kind of like half concerts for the halftime show.
oh, they're like 3 concerts.
Well, and the thing
Because
about
it's
it,
not just like, I'm gonna go to a concert.
yeah. Well, and something
like-
really interesting that I found about it was like, and this is actually something they're doing at just regular concerts a lot now, is the fact they'll only do like half a song. And then they'll chop it up and make it like
Yeah,
lead right
and then,
into the
like,
next
oh,
song.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do, like,
Tempo
these-
change into the
Yeah.
next song
They
or
do
some sort of
and
break.
I honestly like think that is a really cool idea from a production standpoint. They
It
know
really
they don't
is.
have
Yeah.
the time, and they know they want to get all these big name tracks out. So they just
All these songs that
chop
people
them up.
know and are gonna like and blah,
it's
blah,
basically
blah.
just putting a bunch of drops
It's
together.
like a mix-up.
and everybody
or
goes
a fucking
crazy.
remix.
And
Yeah.
from
A
a
mix-up.
and from a planning standpoint, that is a pretty masterful way to conduct the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I really do think that the production team is owed so much for that show. I can't imagine.
Ian and his
Being-
EMB degree and
But it,
audio engineering degree
But it's so,
shining
it's
through.
so intricate though. You don't see it at face value, but there's so
No,
much
you
that goes
don't.
into that. And remember at the end of it too, when they go to commercials and there's like 7 stages on set with this giant tower and all this
mean,
stuff.
that shit
and
all
by
has
the
to get
time it comes
brought
back,
out
it's
and
all gone
brought back,
in,
like-
in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So from a production
stage
standpoint,
crew
it is. I cannot imagine
and-
working or being like the head designer or any head thing at all for the Super Bowl. That would be the most mind fucking thing ever.
I would just have a heart attack.
I don't think I
Be
can
like,
handle
today's
it.
the day, see ya.
Yep.
I'm sick.
I gotta check on 500,000 different things.
Can we do this
calling.
tomorrow?
Postpone the Super Bowl.
Oh shit.
My dog's
We
sick.
can't say Super Bowl, dude. The NFL owns
fuck.
that. Come get me.
Ooh,
Bitch.
Ooh. We are unofficially sponsored by the Super Bowl.
National Football League.
Hashtag Football League.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, good times, good times.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's all kinds of great commercials that happen at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
you know,
of course,
those are
there
always
always
fantastic.
are. I think the
what
commercials
fuck
are better
was
than
up
this
with
game.
that?
What, all the ones that were like coming together and peace, and are you talking about all those ones?
Well, when
what do you
from
mean?
what I was watching, all the commercials were for like new movies or new TV shows.
you were watching later. Well,
you got
that's
something
because the
Maybe.
game actually went on for a lot longer than they thought it was going to, so they had to start recycling commercials that they had used earlier in the
Okay,
night.
this was
Oh.
before like
Oh, really?
this was probably the second, not the second, probably the third and the fourth quarter
Huh.
that I was watching. It was like every commercial that came on was like a TV show that was coming out on like Netflix or on HBO or like a movie that was like they were.
I guess I did see a
all-
bunch of that too. But
And
I
then
mean,
there
you
was
think
the
about
one
those are
like the Lumber 84 commercial that was like the fucking immigrants coming into
Yeah,
America. And
yeah.
there was that one.
Holy
and
shit. Yeah, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of weird shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all kind of
It's like a political commercial or
there were
like
all
a,
kinds of them, man. Scientology has a commercial every year in the Super Bowl.
good.
Really?
good.
What was theirs?
Yeah, there was. You might not have seen it. But
Yeah,
it was,
exactly.
It was just this really generic, like self-help commercial, basically. Like,
Okay.
work to your biggest potential, because that's the only approach they use to get people to start up. It's basically
Yeah.
like you wanted like some
You want a
self-help
better
stuff.
you kind
Yeah,
of.
and then we kind of rope you into some extra stuff, and you pay us $500 million to like pretend you can read minds and control people around you.
Well, you get this cool little beepy device.
John Travolta is allowed to murder anybody without consequence now, because he is a kakan
Wait,
in,
okay,
in
whoa,
the
whoa,
church.
whoa, 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 whoa. Take a step back. What in the literal fuck did you just say?
According to the church's text,
John Travolta,
John
can
Travolta
kill
is allowed
anybody he wants.
is allowed to murder anybody that he wants because it's considered just. So if he killed somebody while on church premises, they would not do anything to him. They would assume that he had the right to do it, and they would cover it up. that is in like what they say about this stuff. Listen to Joe Rogan just had a interview with Leah Remini that I would definitely recommend you guys go check out. It's crazy interesting, and also her show is on A&E. The Church of Scientology is really interesting as well. But she mentioned this. It's basically this thing called a kakan, and it means that you are allowed to murder people without any kind of repercussion.
This sounds like some Alex Jones shit.
Wow.
Except it's real. It's not a conspiracy.
There's one difference here.
Can we send John Travolta a list of recommendations?
We could. Yeah, there we go. He might like your recommendations.
Hey, John, we were just wondering.
Yeah.
There's this guy I know named Ian. He's,
okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, so...
All right, I tell you about it and you just turn around and fuck me.
He goes, sorry.
Sorry, but it's done.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
yeah, I felt the Super Bowl was a pretty interesting one this year. Not even from like the
game or anything, who
standpoint,
cares?
but a lot of the like controversy behind it. And her doing, "This land is your land," which again, I think I might have brought this up where people are always like, "Oh, at least she was wholesome with an American song." That's a fucking Woody Guthrie protest song.
Yeah.
If you think that wasn't like a big fuck you to Donald Trump, you were not watching close enough.
or you just don't know the history.
Yeah,
of
you
it.
don't know
the
who
history,
Woody
yeah.
Which is
Guthrie is, basically.
Perfectly understandable because
And the song does sound pretty wholesome.
oh, it does.
But
It
the fact,
definitely
oh
does.
god, Woody Guthrie, this machine kills fascists on his guitar. Yeah, no, that guy was writing wholesome Americana songs.
Nice. Oh, fitting thing
think
on his
so.
guitar for the current. Well, obviously she was trying to protest Trump, and there have definitely been calls of him being a fascist, which I'm inclined to agree with.
Yeah, I just don't like sensationalized terms to like utilize, utilized in the politics to try to like
literally
create-
Hitler.
Yeah.
No.
Well, even
Everyone's
not?
Hitler to
he's
people.
not. I don't think so.
No, Hitler had a
Hitler
cooler
dipped
mustache.
in a can of orange paint.
Hitler had better hair.
Tipped in a can of orange paint. Oh, God.
Yeah,
She also did Born This Way, which is obviously a very politically charged LGBT song.
definitely. Oh wait, it is. Damn it. I thought.
Wow, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Shit.
Didn't know. Flew right over my head. It's just not clear enough. She's too like subtle with the intricacies of her lyrics. She doesn't just come out and say it. No. But I respect it. At least what she's like. At least she sticks by what she says she's gonna do and stuff. And then there was all the shit where people were like, oh, we're body shaming her or whatever. When people were like, oh,
I
she
heard
looked
about
fat.
that.
What?
She was kind of like
Oh, no, I
chubbing a
know.
little bit over her stuff a little bit, and everyone's freaking out like, oh, she's fat, and then everyone's like, you guys are assholes, and it's all. I'm just sitting back here like,
You guys
why
are
the
assholes?
fuck is any of this conversation happening? Like, the fact that anybody even like brought that up is like so fucking stupid.
Yeah, aka you guys are assholes.
Well, exactly. I'm in that boat.
And imagine how many people with that leftover
gives a
chub
fuck?
are the ones making that charge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kind of like how.
I mean, she's kind of a babe. Like,
I'd do her.
Yeah.
No, ooh, she's a. God, I'm falling into the trap, man. But I'm just gonna, no offense to her, but.
God damn it! What
I'm
is
not-
wrong with him?
I think you gotta leave, Christian. I'm really uncomfortable. Are you body shaming?
I just
her?
don't think you're body shaming her.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
I can't look you in the eye.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
He isn't, guys.
Butterface.
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah. Well, I'm so-
don't-
How un-PC of you.
Yeah. Well, coming from the guy who called that actor ugly on the show.
That's right. Yeah, we're kind of 1 for 1 on this now.
Yeah,
Pat, you gotta say something offensive next podcast. I made fun of Ghostbusters lady. He made fun of Lady Gaga. Who's your target?
I don't know.
Rachel Maddow?
You too.
Okay. We're gonna put up a Facebook poll. Tell us who you rather do, the girl from Ghostbusters or Lady Gaga.
Or
Here
I
we
can
go.
just be the
Honestly,
deciding factor.
actually, in that
Probably
contest, I
gonna be
would
Lady
side with
Gaga.
you. Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
2 against 1.
People
Wait.
would go Gaga for
Send
Gaga.
us a message on Facebook who you would rather have sex with. Lady Gaga.
We
or-
are way too interested.
Stop. Can we stop? Let's stop. Christian's talking.
Come on. That hurts.
I don't even. What? Where were we?
I don't know. I said something about you banging Rachel Maddow, I think, and then
What?
we ended up on some
Whoa,
weird
what?
pass.
I don't remember
Who
that.
said anything? No one said no.
I mean,
dude.
I remember hearing Rachel Maddow, but I don't remember hearing banging.
Although,
I think that was the context.
as long as we're on the
Why are we-
topic,
why are we talking
Rachel
about
Maddow is actually a little attractive. I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah,
She's
she's
alternatively attractive, right? I mean,
Oh, come on.
No, she totally-
This ain't no
she's
Kelly.
hot. No, she's
Oh,
hot.
that reminds me. I just want to make a quick point. I don't think that the taxpayers should be wasting so much money on this big wall Donald Trump plans on building. But I have a compromising solution. What we could do is we could just lay Kellyanne Conway's chin across the southern border, and I think that would cover most of the ground.
Coming in with a groaner.
Ooh, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, the wall is stupid on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, well, not only is it stupid because it's wasting so much fucking money, and this was when the news media was just all day and night like, oh, Bernie, you want to give everybody free college? How are you going to pay for that? $8 billion or $10 billion over a set of a couple years or something. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wants to build a wall that's $30 fucking billion at the cost for a problem that does not necessarily really exist. I mean, net immigration is 0 right now, which means we got more immigrants leaving the country than we do coming in. You're more likely to get, from what I've heard, you're more likely to get killed by a native person in America than an immigrant and all this other shit. And plus, you can dig under the wall.
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
Or go over it.
Or go through the Gulf, really. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you could just go around it. But, I mean, and even from almost every perspective, look at it from an environmental perspective. All these nature people are talking about how if they put that up, it's going to destroy the ecosystem of so many animals, and they're going to just die off because they won't have access to the resources on both sides of the wall.
Fuck them.
Yeah. See, I say fuck the people, you know? Like, I want to save the animals. Fuck the people.
Fuck the animals, from the deer to the Mexicans. Ooh, ah.
Wow.
Oh.
Man.
That one hurts. I'm sorry,
We're going to
Ian.
have to edit you out, man. You are just too...
seriously think
Like,
so?
Yeah. Some of this shit, man.
Come on, man.
If anybody's going to get us death threats, I feel like you're going to be...
I've already gotten death threats.
Oh, yeah?
Remember?
You have?
I showed you. Yeah, some random dude on Facebook. Lil Wayne was...
I remember that.
Lil Wayne...
Random dude on Facebook.
Lil Wayne was...
That's a death. I was scared for my life.
I was shook, son. I was real shook. Yeah.
Was that the 6th pun? I can't even keep track anymore.
6? We
Wait,
have
what?
to be at
What
like
pun?
12.
Did I tell a pun?
Yeah,
Well, you
man.
said shook, and I assume you're
Christian, you
referencing
are
a
a
rap
pun.
song.
That's not a pun. That's rap lingo.
That's rap.
But I thought you were referencing the track by Mobb Deep. That's why I thought it was a pun.
Yeah, shook ones. To be shook. That's not a pun. To be shook.
Yes, it is. You're using it in 2 different points.
All right.
To be shook just means that you're scared.
About what we were talking about.
You do not get what I'm saying. Just move on.
So
Okay.
some guy, when Lil Wayne was announcing his retirement, I was posting on how, like, yeah, well, this isn't necessarily a really big loss for the industry, and I was going on about that, and he was like, and he sends me a message, and I don't find this until 2 months later because Facebook just didn't notify me about it. But he sends me an audio clip of him going. He's strangely like British or some type of European accent, and he's going, Christian Michael Pickard fag. Fucking, I'ma fucking kill ya. I'ma come to your house and you fucking faggot motherfucker. It's the weirdest thing. And I really want to sample it at the end of a rap track that I do.
Yeah,
I haven't
that'd be
decided
funny.
which one, but I
That'd be super
definitely-
funny.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna sample that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to post up our music on the page too, so keep on the lookout for that. Me and Christian both have music that we're going to be posting to the podcast page.
Yeah,
I wanna do,
you
like-
have some songs.
Yeah.
Weren't you gonna?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna post
Kind
I'm gonna post the SoundCloud for one of my rap tracks today too on SoundCloud, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
It's just a quick like 50-second track that just kind
It's
of
57 minutes.
it's 57 minutes long, and I just make weird noises into the microphone.
The whole time.
Yeah. Yep. So keep on the lookout for that. But no, I'm definitely gonna be posting up some stuff, and then Christian, we can always post your music up on there too.
Yeah.
You got a couple of tracks right now.
These two
For my
gentlemen
rap
are very
stuff,
big
I-
into hip hop rap.
Yeah, mostly hip hop rap stuff is probably what we're gonna be sticking to for a little while.
For my rap stuff, I would like to get maybe a little more polished of a take for some things.
You do you, man.
Let's get it,
but
guys.
other ways,
Yeah,
but other ways.
microphones. Oh, yeah.
Anyways, just be on the lookout for that stuff because we're probably gonna be posting it up on
That'll
the
be up in-
SoundCloud page. We'll post it
yeah.
on Facebook and Twitter and stuff too, so you'll notice it.
I would love to feature some of the stuff from my old, more traditional kind of rock band that I did.
Yeah, man.
That stuff.
You do you.
Yeah.
You do you.
People might like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, guys.
Pat.
Big thing for Wisconsin
That's
the
me.
other day.
Ooh.
The
what happened?
CBD
Oh, that's right.
legalization.
Yep. Oh my God.
Our home state here, Wisconsin. For those
so
of you
happy
that
about
don't
that.
know, we're from Wisconsin. And apparently we have, I don't know the full details of this. I've just recently been informed, but yeah, medical.
Yeah. Medical CBD oil. So like, and for anybody who doesn't really know or doesn't give a shit about what that means,
I know I don't.
basically,
No, I'm kidding.
You wouldn't, Christian.
basically CBD oil is the part it's you extract it from the whole structure of weed, but it's not the part that
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
actually gets you. No, that's
No,
you don't
yeah,
extract it.
it's not that.
The
Yeah.
THC is strictly...
Is not in there. There's
Yeah.
CBD oil is a different. CBD is a different chemical compound that exists in weed, and they use it to treat kids with seizures and a lot of people with like late stage like Parkinson's. And
I was
it's
gonna say
stuff that's
Parkinson's.
Really, and if you just look up a few videos of people
I was
like
gonna
before
say,
and after, it's
I
so
just saw a
incredible.
guy
And-
that he did, he took like a oil hit, I guess, if you want to call
Yeah.
it, of CBD oil, and the dude was just like, his hands were shaking, his legs were shaking, he couldn't like sit still.
I saw that same video.
Couldn't sit
Yeah.
still on the couch.
It
and
was
20 minutes
amazing.
later after doing this, the dude was just like arms
He's
crossed,
fine.
And he was
laid
chilling
back
around,
on
he
the
was
couch, just
talking.
chilling. He's
Yeah.
like, why the hell can't I get this in my state?
Well, and
It's
I had
so
a,
fucked up.
I've got
It's so
kind of a
fucked
personal experience with this too. Not an experience, but more of a story, secondhand. One of my teachers has a child who has, I think, autism. I don't want to be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I think he has autism, and he's prone to seizures as well. And he mentioned in class that he really wants this to pass because this was before it had passed, and he actually went and lobbied for it to pass in the city. Like he
Good
spoke
for him.
He
That's
spoke on
amazing.
behalf of his kid and everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for this
But dude, seriously,
And,
I would do the same thing. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's because, and he mentioned in class one day jokingly, like, since it's not legal in this state, I would never have it shipped in from a different state where it is legal, even if it is something that would help my child's life by 100%. In this voice that was just like,
I mean,
what's up, dude?
what
I
am
like
I,
you.
a good parent?
yeah, exactly. And dude's great, honestly.
When
He does
this-
a lot of stuff. He set up a foundation for his kid and like all this. His kid just went through surgery too, and I got a lot of respect for the guy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
This story has been ongoing in the state for years too, because I remember way back. I don't know exactly how far, but there was this article in the Shepherd, and the Shepherd was plugging this issue a lot. They were talking about how Scott Walker wants to turn this shit down when. And they pointed to this really specific example of this really young kid who was just suffering and in constant agony, and she was just begging for... Yeah, because they knew that this medicine worked on her, and they were like, why can't we do this? And it just... It fucking breaks my heart, man, that these people
all
would
those
put...
videos you watch are just fucking
it's terrible.
heart ripping.
And these people want to put...
Like literally.
It really is.
These people want to put useless partisan politics. I don't want to target one side because it happens on both. But these people want to take useless fucking partisan politics and use it to just make people's lives a living hell. And it's not fucking right.
Well, and let's be honest. I know you were trying to be like PC there with it, but it truly is only conservatives that are fighting the CBD bills
on
and
this
stuff.
issue. On this issue.
Exactly. That's all I was
But
referencing.
it's a start too, because I know this kind of, not like specifically this, but just like marijuana related things, they kind of get pushed like once every year. I see articles that are like, oh, sign this, or like, hey, like come rally with us on this day, and like every year it's just obviously like they're just constantly shot down.
Well, and there's going to be a big push for medical marijuana in general now in Wisconsin.
Now
after
that
this.
has that's what I was just about to ask.
It's probably not going to happen with Scott Walker still in office.
Oh, hell no.
He's probably going to try to block it every
In
step of the way.
fact, doesn't he have judicial power to potentially strike this down?
I don't know that, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I don't say.
either. That's why I posed
Yeah,
the
it could be.
question.
Maybe, but I'm under the impression this is past. Like it's past
That's
the
what I
point where
heard,
he would
too.
be able to.
I heard it was,
strike
like,
it down.
fully
I guess don't
enacted.
quote me on that, but
And if he does strike it down, we are going to be in a real shaky situation.
yeah. Well, and honestly, I think
Did you not catch that?
it's. Oh, you fucking son of a bitch!
Oh god, that was a horrible joke.
Slid him
too.
by. Slid him by. What is that? That's got to be like 8 or 10 now.
Something like that. The
Seriously.
shook one doesn't
We're
count.
on
We
to,
gotta
like,
keep
50.
track. We gotta keep track.
All right,
Oh,
we're gonna
there's a
have
fun about shaking.
one track that's all Ian's fucking L's, which by the way we have not heard that.
Nope, I've been working at it.
And then we'll
Yeah.
have another track that's going to be all of Christian's ridiculous puns. And that might be even better than the fucking
Oh, yeah.
It's just gonna be different
Endless
stuff.
material. Endless material.
We'll have our reactions in there and shit, too.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god, not again.
But yeah, you know, it's just... It is annoying when you see people just inject politics into an issue where it doesn't seem to be necessary.
No.
Where it seems more like just a standard, like, look, there's a person that needs help. This helps them.
Let's give it to them.
But it's loosely tied to marijuana.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? It's helping people.
Well, it's the same idea. Like, you know, you talk about hemp being illegal, and it's like, hemp isn't illegal, but like, you know, originally it was going to replace the lumber industry, and that's
of course
why,
it was.
You know, when it comes back to it, if you've seen the episode of Family Guy, they actually sum it up really well.
Yeah, they do.
Like
They talk
in
about
like a
Brian's
minute.
talking. Yeah, it's like, you know, William Randolph Hearst had investments in the lumber industry, so he funded all of the smear campaigns that essentially created the you know, cannabis will kill you. What is it called? Something fever. You guys don't remember those campaigns? They hugely
Reefer
famous.
Madness?
Reefer Madness.
Something
yeah.
fever.
You got it from there.
Reefer fever.
That would work too.
I didn't get it from there.
Yeah, but he did.
He
So
did.
it worked.
He did.
It was close enough. But
You
yeah,
ganja
so
gremlin.
he basically created that whole thing, and now that's the reason that to this day we still can't have any of these things that
anything.
help people.
My mother took a hemp once. No.
She took a hemp.
So
I took a hemp
I'm
once,
reading
and
here
I've been
that
in a
it
coma ever
says
since.
it has been fully legalized to use, just CBD, obviously, of course.
Yeah.
But there is no legal way to obtain it.
That's retarded.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
like
That is so retarded.
And obviously, who knows? Because it just got passed, you know, within a week ago. Maybe that will change.
Yeah.
There are other
Maybe
laws
There's got to
like
be
that.
Allow
and that's
for
the same
that
thing.
to
Well,
be
if you think
shipped
about
in.
it, even like the places that are legal completely now are still
Yeah.
against federal law. If the federal
Correct.
government wanted to go into Colorado and shut down every single shop, they could.
They could. Well, and there's grow ops that you see videos where
Yep.
they're.
Oh, yeah.
See,
It's
now,
like, oh,
Christian, this is
screw
the
you
idea of
guys. Chop,
states'
chop,
rights
chop,
that
chop.
No, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to I just don't want states to have like complete run of the operation. You know, you need to have
yeah,
Some
absolutely.
general
and I think,
laws, but yeah, I mean,
so okay.
it's
So okay, well, let's move on. I
Speaking of segues,
Speaking of changing the subject,
let's move on.
let's move on. I tire of
All right,
this.
guys, I'm done with this topic.
Let's move on from moving on and move on. So I just want to I want to end the show by talking about
A spotted cow.
there we go.
How delicious it is.
New Glarus, any time of the day.
Damn it. I just want
The best slogan.
I just want to bring up
Anytime of the day.
6 a.m. with breakfast, pour it into your Fruit Loops. That's my way. They're probably not. They're not going to sponsor us. They're not going to sponsor us.
no, they're not after that. Not after
Your
that.
Fruit Loops.
Anyways,
Go drink a beer with your Fruit Loops. Pour the beer
Yeah.
into your Fruit Loops.
You'll get Fruit Loopy. Oh man.
tack another one on the board. We got to get a fucking chalkboard for
We
your
are
dude.
gonna-
That wasn't bad though.
No, that was yeah.
No,
that was,
that's where we use the
That was a
Donald
decent
Trump
pun.
That's where we use the Donald Trump soundbite wrong.
yeah.
Like every time I tell a pun, wrong.
Oh god.
Okay.
What is it you wanted to
Okay.
bring up?
Let's.
Sorry.
I want to talk about the recent election while it's still fresh in everybody's mind, and I want to dispel a few myths that are being perpetrated, not just in the media, but by just people in general
Generalness,
who feel very disaffected and are very frustrated. And I want to talk about the third parties and their effect on this election. Now,
Oh, you think my vote ruined your election? Is that what you're telling me?
you goddamn
Your vote
people with
did ruin
integrity.
the election, Ian. It was just
I know,
your vote too.
I know.
How
what I
dare
get.
you feel that, Johnson?
That's weird out of context.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
Someone just took that sound bite.
That's
How dare you feel that, Johnson? Okay, so
just get it out, Christian.
okay, so the narrative that you're hearing from a lot of people on the left right now, a lot of people who feel disaffected by the results of this election, they are blaming all the wrong people, and it's perfectly normal to vent your frustrations. I'm frustrated. I'm sure the majority,
Displacement.
the majority,
giggles.
Damn it. The majority of the country is feeling pretty fucking frustrated right now. And they're putting all the blame, a lot of them, on third parties, people saying. The third party vote ruined the chances for Hillary Clinton to beat Donald Trump. And I am here to tell you guys that is fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
It
cool.
is 100%
Yeah,
grade A bullshit. And
I think it's grade F bullshit. Not even. You can serve that shit to dogs.
and
You can't serve that to people.
Grade F.
Grade F. Full disclosure, I mean,
Shit,
Ian
man.
talking about how he voted for a third party candidate.
I did.
And I actually went a step further and did a write-in. I wrote in Bernie
So
Sanders.
you really wasted your vote.
Oh, yeah, I really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
At least mine might help my guy get into debates. Your guy couldn't even get into the debates even though he was a primary candidate. Just fucking with you.
yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god! Fucking with you. Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Incredible, yeah.
So,
But I agree. I don't think the third parties had much of an impact. And if you look at the numbers, it's pretty
no,
clear.
yeah, let's talk about the numbers because it's a mathematically fucking unsound argument to make that Hillary Clinton lost because of the third parties. And let's start from the bottom up. Now with
Started from the bottom. Oh, sorry.
Started from the bottom, now we're fascist. Okay, so let's talk about.
Never gonna end.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Never gonna end.
This is going to be...
Don't worry.
Welcome to After Hours. That was a real podcast. Just listen to us for 6 more hours rant about nothing.
We're pretty much into after hours now.
So, okay.
Sorry, man. I'm not trying to...
No, go ahead. This is what we do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the write-ins. The write-in presence, and not just the write-ins, but all the little stupid parties. I don't want to call them stupid,
No.
but the little parties
Significant ones.
that are like third parties to the third parties, right?
Yeah.
Like the something Independence Party, which is not
American
for
Freedom
independence.
Party.
Yes, yeah. It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I like freedom. The presence of write-ins and those minor party candidates was so minor, it is literally just fucking negligible. It did not matter. And, like, honestly, I'm convinced I'm the only person who voted Bernie Sanders at this point.
Hey, man, what was it? Some percent of the vote went to Harambe.
Yes, yeah.
Like, it was a
like-
percentage, too. There was
Yeah.
actually, like, enough of them that it made, like, more than, like, they could percentage it.
It was like
Put it in a percent.
it was a couple thousand or something.
Was it a couple thousand
Yeah.
votes?
No, I don't. Did it really get a percentage?
I think so. Well, obviously, it can have a percentage regardless.
Obviously,
like,
yeah.
But I think it made actually a decent, like, not actually an impact, but, like, people noticed it enough where it was like, holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Sure, that rustled some jimmies.
Yeah. Harambe. He's my president.
Yeah.
Not my gorilla.
Numb. Dude, did you hear about that time that he kidnapped that kid? I'm not down with that. Oh, I am not down with that. Okay, so the write-ins totally negligent. And if you wanna,
Okay.
oh, and I have the bad jokes. No, actually, no, that was a good joke. That wasn't. That was the best joke of the night. Mine are all cheap.
Tack it up on the board.
All right. They are, yeah, they are a dime a dozen.
I suck, man.
Okay. So
Damn it.
Trying to make a salient point in the middle of fucking...
now you've got all these people on the left talking about how they want to blame Bernie Sanders as if he somehow was the conduit through which Hillary Clinton lost. Motherfucker, he wasn't even like written in by anybody. All the Bernie people, like except for me, really did fall in line. Except, well, okay, that's not true. The independents did not. The youth vote did not.
Yeah, the youth vote... The youth vote just doesn't vote.
No, they don't. But then that's true, and that's a very that is a very fair
exist.
point.
Yeah.
That is a
Vote
very
zero.
that is a very. When I was voting, I was the only guy my age there.
Yep. It's
Well-
the same thing happened to me, too. And I always look around and it's
Oh,
like...
yeah.
Oh, you know, I saw a lot of people at rallies. I wonder what the fuck is going on.
Where are you guys?
And that is so true for our generation. I feel like
Yeah.
it really does become...
Oh yeah, we do a lot of talking, but we don't do a lot of action. But he also lost, or she also lost trade unionists with the Rust Belt, and and some other groups too. But let's move on to Jill Stein, who got 1% of the vote. And
Now that was who you.
no,
No.
he voted for Johnson.
No. But you told me about her. Who is the Wi-Fi lady?
That's
That's
Jill
the
Stein.
Wi-Fi lady.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let's not get too far on a tangent here. Let's not get
that
too
was
far
the
on a tangent.
Wi-Fi lady.
You know?
By the way, Jill Stein, for an older lady, very attractive.
Good God.
I'm sorry,
She's a
man.
MILF?
Yeah.
A
Oh,
gilf?
yeah, she's
A gilf?
MILF-tastic. Yeah.
Good God.
Gilf or MILF?
Jill Stein.
Oh,
You're
she's a
listening.
gilf. She's a
Christian
gilf.
Michael Pickard.
She's a
He's
gilf.
interested
Jill
in
Stein.
I'm
Gilf.
with her in the sack, hopefully.
Good fucking God.
Wow, God.
Okay, anyway, let's move on from Jill Stein's smoking hot body and talk about how she did not particularly affect the election either. Because picture this. If you take out all the third party and all the write-in options, what you've got is a situation in which, let's pretend we get to reallocate those votes where they go to their closest main party equivalent, right? Or they get to stay home. Now, the typical Jill Stein style liberal or even independent is so disgusted by Hillary Clinton that they are probably going to be staying home. Or and if Hillary's lucky, she gets half of that vote. What is that? 0.5%? That's fucking nothing.
Yeah, well, she won the popular vote anyways.
Yeah,
Really, that
she
wasn't
did.
the problem.
Yeah.
It's like Toral, which is what fucked her.
Okay, and then let's go to the protest heavyweight, Gary Johnson. Now, 3%. Sorry for snorting. 3% of the vote felt the Johnson this year.
What actually is Aleppo? Does anybody really know?
Ooh.
I have.
I'll let them know when I find out. Okay,
God.
that one
What
was.
you
At least you
expect?
saved me with my fucking
laughs.
That was.
I mean, do you know what I'm referencing there?
No.
Gary Johnson didn't know what Aleppo was in an interview.
Yeah, and
It's
he was
like-
cornered
it's-
in an interview.
Yeah, and it's this big fucking deal right now. That's the Syrian. It's like a major city that's getting taken over by like terrorists and stuff.
Well,
it's probably something you should have known about. But
It's
at
the
the same
main
time,
defense.
It's really annoying.
Well, he is also, to be fair, as a libertarian, he is an isolationist.
Yeah.
So
And well, it's the same thing when
Yes.
people were like, "Oh, who's your favorite foreign leader?" It's like he's a fucking libertarian isolationist. He doesn't have a favorite foreign leader. He doesn't want to fuck with any of them. He doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
absolutely true.
he got 3% of the vote. Now, who would be inclined to vote, or if he was not the candidate, who would those 3% of people be inclined to vote for? Either they stay home because they voted their fucking
Yeah, I probably
third
would
party.
stay home.
You would,
I don't think there's anybody else on the ballot that I
was
would have
gonna-
felt like
that's what I
voting
was
for.
gonna
no matter what, I would never stay home.
I
in an
wouldn't vote for
election.
Hillary, and I wouldn't vote for Trump.
Oh, you certainly
And
wouldn't.
I certainly wouldn't vote for Miss. We need to protect our children from Wi-Fi.
From Wi-Fi?
We don't know what its effect. Okay, I'll just.
Okay. So where does that vote go? A chunk of them probably stays home. And then you've got the libertarian crowd and the anti-PC crowd and frankly, the conservative-minded people who voted for him who are like, okay, let's go with Trump because he's painting himself as anti-establishment. He's fucking not, by the way. He
Look
just
at his
painted
appointments.
himself.
He's got Goldman. He's like people are like Hillary's too close to Goldman Sachs. Fucking the head of the Treasury Department now. He's like an
he's
ex-leader of Goldman
fucking-
Sachs.
Yeah, Donald Trump drained the swamp directly into the White House.
That's great.
I just want to. I want to take a second. I want to take a quick second to steal a better joke from a.
Can we quote that?
Yeah, is that you? Did you?
That
make
is
up?
me. That
Oh,
is me.
yeah.
But there is a better
Wow.
joke. There
I'm
is.
gonna say that. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
that.
Go ahead. Steal my shit.
I'm going to
As I'm
steal
about
your
to steal
shit.
somebody else's joke. Jimmy Dore took a better take on the joke. He said, Donnie Tinyhead Trump, he drained the swamp and he found his cabinet at the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like that one better.
Did you come up with yours before you heard that one?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yes, I did.
Because that's
Yes, I did.
otherwise yours is just a hacky version of it.
Wrong.
We need the button.
We need the button.
So perfect. We need a bunch of different.
We need a bunch of them. We need a
That
bunch
was
of them.
definitely number one.
Wrong.
Okay, so in this hypothetical scenario that I've painted in which the third party votes get reallocated, what happens is, I'm bringing it full circle. Trump is actually helped in this situation because Johnson's votes go primarily to him and he's the protest heavyweight. So, and Hillary, what happens if Hillary gets all of Stein's votes? She wins Michigan. That's it. That's not enough to push her over to the Electoral College. And she could have won Pennsylvania if you don't factor in the Johnson, if you're not feeling the Johnson. then she still loses Pennsylvania by a little bit. It's just not enough, and the reason why we lost, it's not Russia, it's not Comey, it's not Putin, it's not fucking Bernie Sanders, Jill Stein, or what have you. It's Hillary goddamn Clinton. She's the reason Donald Trump is president.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but we're not going to move on as a party if we don't acknowledge that.
Yeah, I do think it's really interesting that you have this division in your own party now.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes down to it. I mean, I see you get into arguments with just as many liberals as you do conservatives. Oh, is this another round of New Glarus Spotted Cow?
Oh, my God.
Ale?
This is
It just says ale. Is this a pale ale? Is ale
It
just
is
a
a
regular thing?
Spotted Cow is a farmhouse ale.
Oh, okay, I was thinking about, because there's always the different categories. Every drop of Wisconsin's farmhouse ale
See?
is artisan brewed and bottled by the hard-working employee owners of I don't give a fuck. Sorry, no, I do. Sponsor us. Okay.
Fuck, man.
I'm sorry, I screwed us. Edit that. Done. But no, I think you bring up a lot of valid points about that stuff when it comes down to it. I think that, you know, you kind of summed it up really well in the first thing you said was that people want to look for a place to, someone to blame, a scapegoat in these situations. And when it comes down to
And they don't want it to be their fault.
And they don't want it to be, well, even, it's not even the people who voted for Hillary's fault. It's Hillary's fault herself.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I think, on a certain level, I think Hillary kind of knows that she ran a pretty terrible campaign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just recently she slithered out of the woodwork to post her first video.
Yeah. You know, people are ragging on her for not being involved in the community after the election, but think about how salty and terrible. Like, I think that's a PR move. That's a conscious marketing PR move.
Let's just back off.
Yeah, because
for a bit.
it'll just look horrible. It'll look salty.
It'll
It'll look
just
angry,
look-
and it'll seem spiteful.
Yeah.
It's not the image you want to present.
Or
as
it'll just look
aggressive.
like you're trying too much too.
Exactly.
You know.
I was
I think
kind
it's something
of
her
Stop
PR
trying,
it's something
you
her
know.
PR
I
team
feel like that's
told
what
her
people-
to do.
I was attached to that narrative too at first, but as I was reading through what people were saying about it, they were like, "Well, Hillary apparently she's been working behind the scenes with like the
course she
ACLU
is.
and shit." Oh yeah,
I'm just saying, like, that's the reason she's not in the front lines of the media and everybody's bitching about it. You know.
In terms of the people looking for scapegoats, Rachel Maddow, this is something I wanted to touch on.
All right. Right as we're finishing up.
Yeah, this is real quick. Rachel Maddow, she went into full, who was tarnishing her fucking credibility this entire election. She went into full panic mode post-election and did this fake autopsy where she was like, well, if all of Jill Stein's votes and half of Gary Johnson's votes went to Hillary Clinton, she would have won. Yeah, and if I had a 20-foot fucking wingspan, I could fly to work every day. That's not realistic.
That'd be nice though.
That would be a fucking albatross.
Actually, that would be so inconvenient.
What?
Having a 20-foot wingspan?
Okay, yeah. If they could, like,
You'd have to explain
curl
that to
in,
everyone
you
you
know?
met.
Yeah, man.
if they just curl in like this, you know, like up the back, and then
up
like,
the back, curl
Or
it
if
in
you were,
there.
or if you were Angel Otherkin, then you could just.
There you go. Hey,
I
man,
would
like
just
that.
fly. I wouldn't
Ass
even
cream
work.
injection.
I would just fly around all day.
I am
I
dragging.
wouldn't have a job. I would just
only
fly.
eat rare gems, and my parents get really pissed at me when I eat all of their jewelry.
Oh man.
Where's my fucking diamond ring?
Mom, I was hungry.
It was breakfast time, Mom.
I can only
And you
eat
didn't
rare
make me
gems.
anything.
That is an expensive habit.
There you go, man.
Man, that joke was gold.
Oh.
Ooh, we had to.
Well, I don't know, man.
All right.
All right, he goes, all right.
All right.
All right.
What's that?
Jesus Christ.
Don't start it out like that.
Don't start what out like that. What are you talking about?
You go into like, who sings that?
Somebody?
That's that band Outkast, right?
Yeah, that's Outkast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
alright,
Outkast isn't bad.
You ever seen the video of that where he just does that for 10 hours?
What?
Like, where's the rum?
Yeah.
Where's the rum gone?
Yeah. All kinds of shit like that.
Or
Or there's the Lord of the Rings 10 hours one, too.
Yeah, those videos
They're
are
taking the
ridiculous.
Hobbit Isengard?
The entire B movie,
Yes.
except every time they say B, it speeds up.
Go watch that.
Check that out. It's really entertaining.
Better than the original.
It's a good
The
time.
entire B movie, except every time they say the word B, it ends, and it just gets like 2 sentences in, and then it just ends. Just incredible.
Oh god, yeah, good times, good times.
All right.
Go check that out too.
Well, I gotta say, it's been a really nice time with you guys tonight. Thank you for joining us on the Circle podcast.
It's nice and wholesome.
We hope that you'll join us again.
We are now signing off.
No fat chicks.
I don't even what?
No offense. the comments of some of the co-hosts on the show do not
Do not reflect the views of New Glarus Spotted Cow.
I just could not get that out of my mouth.
Or Kinnikinnick Whiskey.
Yeah.
Or Patrick and Ian.
The Circle Podcast.
They kind of are inspired by the whiskey, though.
Anyways, this is Ian
Christian.
And Pat.
signing off.